Well, first off, Belinda, I just really wanted to thank you for taking the time to spend with us and answering some of our questions, because I know you're a really busy lady.
That's okay. I'm honored to have been asked, so thank you.
Well, first off, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, like what you do?
Okay. I'm Business Development Director at Weibel Energy Systems, so I'm pursuing opportunities for our sales staff. I'm always looking for ways to get into different companies or government agencies. So I'm kind of the first point of contact for the salespeople. I get the lead and then bring them in. I also am on the marketing committee, so I'm involved with, I attend a lot of events. Today I started off at 7:15 at a South Metro Chamber annual meeting, and did a lot of networking and just trying to keep up with community leaders.
Yeah, Ashley mentioned that you do a lot of people work.
Yeah, I do, and that's what I love best. I love best. And then I also serve on Centerville City Council and am very involved in a number of political campaigns right now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Who would you say is your greatest influence growing up, and did they impact your decision to pursue leading others?
Growing up, I can't say that I had one person who influenced me. The person who most changed my life was Betty Montgomery, who hired me about 10 years ago. I had a number of good jobs. You know, I didn't go to college right out of high school. I got married young, had a child really young. And so I had a number of jobs that were good jobs, but just not great jobs. And so my focus was raising my daughter. I was a single parent much of the time. And so it wasn't until I was 40. And Betty Montgomery hired me. She's Ohio's former Attorney General and Auditor of State. And it changed my life. She empowered me to do better. And she's a very dear friend to this day. But so she was the person who most influenced me.
Okay. If you could give only one piece of advice to someone contemplating becoming a leader, what would that be?
I think the most important thing is the ability to develop good relationships, whether it's with peers, competitors, staff, employees, friends. I think relationships, if you can develop good relationships, you'll get a long way in life, no matter what career path you're following.
Absolutely agree with that. Did you have any plan to get where you are now, or was like a random series of events that brought you into a leadership role?
I think it was a plan, but it took me a while. It took me until I was about 40 to really believe that I could do it. I had worked for presidents of large companies when I was an administrative assistant, then moved up to executive assistant, and I really made very good money, all things considered. But I never saw myself in a management role or being like a spokesperson for a company or even running for office and getting elected. So it wasn't a specific plan as much as it was a series of evolving things until I was 40. I worked for Betty Montgomery, and she helped me kind of map out a plan to run for office on my own and then to change careers, which is what I did a year ago. I got out of the public sector working for a government agency and took a job working for an engineering firm, which then led me to this opportunity at Weibel Energy Systems.
Awesome. What would you say is the single biggest challenge you've faced as a leader?
I think being a woman, I hate to say that, but I think in this day and age, you know, we should be beyond that. But for the past, once I got out of public sector working for government, I work in a man's world, as Ashley knows. It is a man's world, the HVAC world, and I think it's still a challenge to have male leaders really give me full credit for what I can do. and I don't mean specifically at our company, but I think there's still that mindset that a woman cannot. Do you agree?
The world is a slowly changing place.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I guess this kind of dovetails into this question. Have you had any difficulty with the group you lead? And if so, what advice would you give to keep everything constantly on track?
I'll address it that there are two. I see my job on City Council as one of my jobs, and I see Weibel Energy System as another. So I really have two jobs. At Weibel, it's been interesting because I do have a lot of marketing experience, and I ultimately got a degree, later in life. But I think it's been a challenge to figure out how to help us move forward in our marketing effort without stepping on the toes of people I work with. So it's been, tenuous. Yeah, try not to offend, but I can think we can be really good at what we do, and so it's balancing, and it's also convincing the company to spend a little more money on some things than we might have thought were important. Like, I love marketing materials. So I would say so my private sector job with Weibel, that's been a challenge. City Council, I'm the only woman. I serve with 6 men, and that's, again, there's been a little bit of resistance to my being the only woman.
Yeah, I can see where that would still be a challenge.
Yeah.
As a leader, what are your core values that guide you in the way you approach problems?
I try to always trust in the people that I work with. Whether it's me leading the charge in something, I try to remember to trust my coworkers, that they can do the job, and that we work as a team. That's really important to me. So trust, that is one of my most important core values. And behaving ethically in a way in the marketplace, whether it's with our competitors or my political opponents, ethical behavior.
It's important. What do you expect from the people you lead, and how do you set a good example for them?
I expect 100%, and it's unrealistic, I know. I try to give 110%. And I expect a really good work ethic, whether it's the city employees who work under me, or at Weibel. I think I probably am pretty demanding. Ashley?
Karen?
But you're also demanding of yourself.
Yeah, I am.
So it makes sense. What are some things that you would like to accomplish in your political career?
I haven't quite figured that out yet. I've been approached numerous times over the past year to run for state representative.
Wow.
But it would require me giving up my job at Weibel or working out some other arrangement, because state rep is part-time, but it's really more than that. So I'd have to live in Columbus 3 days a week. So I go back and forth on that, whether or not that's something I really want to do. Ultimately, I could do it down